Welcome back to Traveling McGee. I just crossed over into Minnesota. I was in South Dakota for a little bit, coming from the Badlands, and now I am headed up to Minneapolis to check out the Mall of America. Let's go check it out. So what I want to try and capture in this particular video is the middle, or the Midwest. I'm going to be seeing a lot of different places, but I'm not going to be stopping necessarily. So I really just kind of want to showcase some smaller towns. There's not a lot of national parks in this area, but a lot of smaller towns, a lot of historical places. So I'm going to try to do my best. Like I said, I'm going from here up to Minneapolis, and I'm going to the Mall of America. Not really a historical place, but a cool place. And then from there, I'm going to kind of transition my way down into Illinois, and then a little bit into Missouri when I get to St. Louis, because I do want to see the St. Louis Arch. And then from there, we'll see what else I can find. But that's going to be my primary objective in this video. So, tag along for the ride. I wasn't like extremely blown away by it. Definitely big. It was 4 stories. You know, all the typical shops that you can find in malls, all your big department stores, your Macy's, Nordstrom, you know, all the other stores that you can think of. A bunch of restaurants. They had a whole kind of food court area, which probably had at least, I'd say, 20 restaurants. So from that aspect, that was really cool. But the main draw is in the middle, or this concourse area, and it's an actual amusement park. They had, I'd say, at least 3 like full-size roller coasters, a Ferris wheel, one of the flying swings things. They had a log flume. They had a bunch of virtual reality stuff. Pretty incredible to see in the middle of a mall. I mean, the whole middle is open, so which can fit all of these rides. Yeah, for what it is, I think it's pretty cool. I bet around the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I bet the place is packed. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'm more partial to King of Prussia. Comparatively, I think King of Prussia is bigger, but King of Prussia doesn't have an amusement park in the middle. Actually, you know what? This might be kind of fun to show you how when I stay at Cracker Barrel, which spot I usually try to get. So I'll drive around and kind of talk about where I wouldn't stay and where I would stay. Okay, so let's drive back up to the front. Now, typically I won't sleep up front or park up front. I don't know, with customers being around, I feel like it would creep people out if they saw someone in a van or whatever. So I try to avoid that. All of these parking spots, yeah, I wouldn't stay in any of these. Plus, they're within view of the actual restaurant windows, so that doesn't work either. You know, who wants to eat dinner and watch someone crawl out of a van? These spots aren't bad. So you see these here on my right, these are the RV and bus spots. See how much bigger they are? Sometimes they're actually labeled. Yeah, these are labeled. They say RV bus spots. This is a good side parking lot. It looks really flat. But again, I don't really like the idea of being in the sun for the rest of the night, but I don't know. Not my first pick. So back around on this side, you already have a truck here. I don't know if that's staying for the night or if that is delivering food products. I don't see any doors on the back of the restaurant open, so it's probably here for the night. But also they have these little trash cans up. Cracker Barrel is really nice about having those, which is awesome. This is a pretty good area for me. It's in the shade. No one's really going to be looking at me or be able to look at me. There is the regular dumpster for the actual restaurant. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull into, actually I'm going to back into one of these. So that my head can be elevated for the night. I also like to park on the very end of the little lots that they have. That way, because, you know, someone that's in a small van that can fit in a parking spot, if you park like right in the middle there and someone with a big RV, you know, or a bus or a tractor trailer like here, that just takes up a spot for them. So I try to stay towards the ends. So you can see there's one on that end, there's one on that end, and I'm in this one. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wind down for the night, and tomorrow keep driving. Alrighty, so it is day 2. And right now I'm going to be heading kind of south out of Minneapolis area. Ugh, it's too early, I can't speak. I'm headed to a little town called Northfield, Minnesota. And it seems like they have a little historical society museum that I thought was pretty cool. It's in an old bank. So I am going to go check that out. Here we go. Where are you taking me here? Well, this is a new one for me. Never followed a tractor bulldozing the road before. Must be a Minnesota thing. Oh, and I get to drive over it. Fun. Look at this. Great. Kick it in gear, Bobby. This little town is really nice. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I've never been here before, but you know, very historical town. A lot of really nice buildings, coffee shops, restaurants, stores. Just walked around the antique store. I walked through the museum that's here, which kind of touches on one of the last bank robberies of Jesse James in the late 1800s. They have the actual bank here. They have it all staged. There's a museum there. Apparently they have a festival once a year where they kind of reenact the whole thing. It was a pretty big deal when it happened. And it's kind of what this town has been known for, and it's really preserved. Nice little walk along the river. It's such a nice town. Yeah, I really like this place. Now I'm headed to Wisconsin. I think I have about an hour and a half drive, but nice morning. I'm actually headed to this museum, not in Wisconsin Dells. I'm kind of south of that, but it's a circus museum, and it's called, you know, I do this every time when I try when I try to make a video and tell you what places are called, and I always forget, but I'll put it under my face. I guess it talks about the history of circus life and what it's all about, so should be pretty cool. You know, I gotta be honest, this place was really cool for just the history of everything. The carriage house that they had with all the antique you know, animal carriages that would have been in the parade, I guess, that they would have showcased in different towns that they would go to. Just beautiful. So I'm in Barbaro, Wisconsin, and this is where the Ringling Brothers this is where their winter headquarters were for their circus during the early 1900s and late 1800s. And there's barns and things where they would keep all the animals, training areas where they would keep, you know, where they would train the animals and improve on their acts and things like that. And, you know, I'm sure in a lot of these rural towns, especially in developing Minnesota and Wisconsin and Missouri and Illinois, you know, this Midwest, when the Midwest was really starting to become more and more populated, when the circus rolled into town, that was probably a big deal. So just really cool to see the history of it all. I wish, kind of kicking myself that I didn't get here earlier, but I wasn't sure what to expect either. But really, really awesome. Highly recommend. Just a cool place. And the town's really nice too. But now I'm headed to Madison. I'm going to go walk around the Capitol building. So I'm in Wisconsin, and I know that the state is known for cheese. So right now I'm headed to Arena Cheese Factory, and I'm gonna go try some squeaky cheese curds for the first time. All right, well, I'm gonna try some fresh Colby Jack cheese curds. They are not refrigerated, they are not cold. They are room temperature. And apparently a good cheese curd is supposed to squeak in your mouth when you chew it. Kind of like rubber, I guess. But apparently it's just the calcium and protein structure in cheese curds before it is pressed into cheese or blocks of cheese. So this is the Colby Jack cheese curd. Apparently this particular cheese maker is home to Colby Jack cheese, which I love Colby Jack cheese. I guess it was invented here or by this particular company, which is pretty cool. That's why I came here, to be honest. But let's go ahead and try this. A whole bunch of different sizes. Some are long, some are big. It's a good average size, so. Squeaky. Salty. Even though it's warm, well, room temperature, it's not like melting in my mouth, and it's not greasy either. It's wet, but it's not oily. It's kind of like, have you ever bitten off an eraser from a pencil? That type of texture. Like that rubbery type texture. You probably can't hear it, but I can hear it. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's the good sign of fresh cheese curds, apparently. If it doesn't squeak, that doesn't mean they're bad, but after a certain time, I guess the proteins relax and it's not as rigid, the structure. So it's still edible, but apparently these were made right around 9 o'clock this morning, and it's almost 1, so you can definitely taste the milk. I think I'm kind of picking that up, that fresh milk flavor. But all in all, really, really tasty. And I also got this company doesn't make these, but they had them. Pernat's, I guess they're like beef sticks, you know, Slim Jims. This is the cheesy, sweet and hot variety. And these are really good. Nice smoky, sweet flavor with a little bit of heat. And there's just a little ribbon of cheese in the middle. So this is my lunch for the day. Well, you made it to the end of a very long video, and I really appreciate you for watching. I have so much more to show you from the Midwest, so stick around for part 2. But until that happens, I hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.